determined to rise anyway. In other words, even though the enemy has come at you with everything that he can possibly throw at you, you made up in your mind that there is not any quit on the inside of me. Notice if you will begins to share in this particular lament, if you will, Archbishop, know if you will, that Micah doesn't deny the darkness. Matter of fact, when we begin to study this passage, we don't notice that he acknowledges it. Note what he says. He says these words. He says, when I fall, I shall rise. In other words, he acknowledges the fact that he's not perfect. He acknowledges the fact that he has issues. He acknowledges the fact that he has proclivities and that there are some challenges in his life. He says that even though you look at me in a certain kind of way, I may fall. But here's the most important thing. Even if I fall, I'm going to get up again. And maybe that's be encouraging to somebody in here, because there's a whole lot of us that feel, beloved brothers and sisters, that when we make a mistake, or that when we miss it, or when we fall short, because of how challenging it may be, we feel as if we can't get up from it. But the text declares, Micah makes it clear. He says, yes, I may fall, but I'm going to rise. But that's not what's blessed me, beloved brothers and sisters. What blesses me is what he says next, because he gets bold with it. How does he get bold with it? He says, when I fall, I shall rise. But then he blows my mind by saying, and my enemies are going to see it. Understand, family, this isn't wishful thinking. This is faith under fire. This is what it sounds like when someone has suffered and survived. This is what it sounds like when somebody has decided that defeat is not going to be my final identity. And what makes this passage hit differently is that it gives, if you will, voice to the often ignored process, watch this, between pain and promotion. Because there's a whole lot of us that want to go to the next level. There's a whole lot of us that want to ascend to the next plateau, but we don't want to go through nothing to get there. We just want to arrive. And we live in a day and in a time in which people just want to ascend to prominence and prestige. But I want you to understand that there is no promotion without some pain. There is no next level without you going through at your last level. And just because things have been tumultuous, just because things have been challenging, it does not mean that God has written you off. It simply means that God is up to something that he needs to disguise behind your pain. I wish I had a witness up in here. But if you will, beloved brothers and sisters, that Micah doesn't sugarcoat the fall. He doesn't minimize, if you will, the damage, but he also refuses to stay down.